Okay, welcome to episode 1 of Opposites Attract podcast. She just put up 2 fingers, but I think you meant 1.
Episode 1. Peace sign.
Deuces. One of my coworkers' daughters, they call it twosies in their family. Twosies. Shout out to you know who. Okay, so let's talk about for a second why we wanted to do a podcast.
Why we wanted to do a podcast.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I was not on board with this, but Megan kept on and on, like the personality that she is, and here we are doing a podcast.
I just think that it's a cool opportunity, not only for us to see each other more often now that we're like grown-ups, air quotes, and we kind of have to live away from each other, but it gives us a chance to see each other. And plus, there are a lot of things about us that people think are like super similar, and they're not.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of times where I bring you around to my workplace and a lot of people are like, oh my god, you guys are the same person, but we're definitely not the same person, so I would like to point that out in this vlog, podcast, video thing that we're doing.
And I think it's also important to just throw in like the social media aspect here that like it's okay to disagree with the people around you.
Without it being like a stupid thing.
Basically, we argue a lot, and we thought we would capitalize off of it. So here we are, episode 1. I think we should start this episode by kind of letting our viewers who don't necessarily know us personally kind of know who we are, like our background. So do you kind of...
Start us off.
Okay. So we both obviously graduated from high school in a really small town. But right after high school, I went to Arkansas Tech University and graduated with a 4-year degree.
Heck yeah, tech yeah.
Heck yeah, tech yeah. Holla. Holla at my Wonder Boys. So fun fact, at Arkansas Tech, it's not just guys. So the girls got really mad, and now they have a mascot. The girls are the Golden Suns, and the Wonder Boys are the dudes.
Heck yeah, tech yeah.
Because you can't just do one, okay? Equality. So I graduated with my 4-year degree in events planning, and now I plan events for a city in Arkansas that I'm really proud of. But, you know, I kind of did the typical, like, stress your life away for 4 years and get a degree. You know, most expensive paper of my life. And that's definitely not what Kate did.
No, so I actually did the small town Arkansas thing, and I got married right outside of high school to the guy that I've been dating for 5 years. As of now, we've been married for 5 years. We've been together for 10, actually celebrating our anniversary in November. We have been lucky enough to live in multiple places, Arkansas twice now, Hawaii once, and California once, so we've been kind of all over the map. Because of that, your girl got to take a massive break from school, so now I'm back at it, which means that my twin sister graduated with her bachelor's degree 3 years before me. I've got about 1.5 years left of school, and then for whatever reason, I decided that the smartest thing in my life was to go back to school after that, so I will be applying for grad school for audiology in about 1.5 years, 2 years. Yeah, so more school for me. Yay.
Yeah, so another little social teaser here. It's okay to not finish school in 4 years.
Yeah, there are some ups and downs to that. I mean, as much as I'm ready to be done with school, I did get to see a lot more of the world than I ever thought I would be able to, and I've actually, I don't necessarily like the word cultured, but I feel like because I was able to get out and see things, I feel like I'm a little bit more cultured. Like, I know that there's more to the world than small town Arkansas.
And I think that's so important, to be able to not only just relate to people, but also, like, there's so much more than just Arkansas. Okay, also, she mentioned her husband. I am married. I've been married for a little over 2 years now.
Yeah, when did you celebrate your anniversary?
We celebrated at the end of July, so just a little over 2 years. I live with my husband in our little small home with our 4 kitty cats. Because we have a problem.
I would like to point out that the first thing that she and I disagree on is cats. I think they're useless pets. I don't understand why anyone would want one. So your girl has 2 dogs. not 4 cats.
So that was the perfect segue into what I kind of wanted to like get started with.
Look at her with their little checklist. I would also like to point out that I'm winging it, and I've been winging it from the beginning, and I intend to wing it every episode.
The two of us are opposite, and you'll see that throughout this entire podcast series. We're going to kind of go over a few like quick to step on type of things that are things we might disagree on or see if we disagree on. But as you follow us along this series, you'll realize that there's a lot of things that we disagree on that are much bigger, I think, than, like, for
Simple
instance,
stuff.
Coke versus Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Now, are we talking, like, literally Coca-Cola versus Pepsi or, like, the products? What is Dr. Pepper?
That's going to be a Pepsi product.
Okay, then I'm Pepsi hands down.
I mean, I just like Pepsi better than Coke to begin with. That being said, I tend to drink a lot more, I want to say I tend to drink a lot more water, but I tend to drink a lot more beer than I drink anything else.
So that was one on here, too, that I was going to ask. Beer versus wine.
You didn't have to ask me that, though. I don't like wine.
I don't like wine either. I really don't like beer. If I'm going to drink something, I want to drink something that honestly doesn't taste like alcohol and then, like, not remember it tomorrow.
See, and I'm the opposite, and where I'll have a beer every night, at least every night. I don't need to get, off the wagon to have a good time.
Off the wagon. Beer discretion advice.
Your girls try not to cuss on here if we're being completely honest.
So here's the next one, and I think I'm going to know the answer, so let me tell you what I think your answer is first.
Well, can you read what is it first?
Burger King versus McDonald's. I'm going to tell y'all right now, Katie is way too, up there to eat McDonald's, so I'm going to shoot for the stars here and say you're going to pick Burger King.
If someone had a gun to my head and they were like, choose between Burger King and McDonald's, I would choose Burger King. That being said, if Wendy's were thrown into the mix, Wendy's hands down every time.
Wendy's is not in the mix because Wendy's hands down too. That 4 for $4 got me hollering, okay? But I would pick McDonald's. I love me some artificial chicken nugs. If I'm gonna die young, I might as well die because I ate nugs.
Okay.
Nugs
McDonald's has better fries than almost any fast food place ever. That being said, neither of them are good.
Okay. This one I think is debatable if you're talking movies versus books, but Hunger Games versus Twilight.
Hunger Games for both the movies and the books.
You can't say that
Katniss
if you
Everdeen
haven't read the books.
Okay.
Kate has not read the books, and I think Twilight, hands down, is one of the best written book series.
I don't intend to read the books, and I know that this is going to get a lot of negative stuff. If you had asked me in high school, which I know you did 100 times, but if I had to read a book series in high school and Twilight was one of the options, maybe. But I also don't read in my adult life, so I'm not choosing either.
That's one thing I hate about being a grown-up. I don't get enough time to do, me things. Because by the time I'm done doing all of the stuff that I have to do responsibly, I just want to lay down and do nothing.
I mean, between work and school and working out and social life and family, I don't have time to read. And even if I did have time to read, I would probably not. Because Netflix.
Okay, this next question, I think, is also dependent on, where you're from. But Target versus Walmart.
Target for the win.
Target makes me feel so fancy when you say it.
When we lived in California, I worked in a movie theater that had a Target in the same mall. And in that Target was a Starbucks. So obviously I spent a lot of my free time in there. But I was there so often that people would ask me where things were. And because I was there so often, because I was always in my uniform, I always had black and red, work uniform. And because I was there so often, I actually knew the answers to their questions. So I might as well have been on the payroll because Target for the win.
I think it depends on if you're a college student, which is so weird to say because I know a lot of people that are not in college love Target, but that's the hub for everything you need college right there. Walmart is almost they have almost everything Target has, but not Joanna Gaines level.
And they also don't have a Starbucks.
Okay, chocolate or vanilla?
It depends on the situation. If I'm having it in my coffee, it's going to be chocolate. But if it's ice cream, vanilla every time.
It doesn't depend on the situation. Chocolate hands down all the time.
You don't like vanilla
Vanilla
ice cream?
is so plain Jane.
Okay, no. I knew you were going to do that. I knew you were going to pull the plain Jane in there. But it's a flavor. It's one flavor. Just like chocolate is one flavor. So what makes chocolate more superior than vanilla?
No.
It's a flavor.
Chocolate is vanilla plus chocolate. Vanilla is not a flavor.
What you just said contradicts itself. vanilla and chocolate are on the same level of flavor, but for whatever reason, because vanilla is like white, people are like, oh.
Especially in
Plain
today's
Jane.
age, okay?
Oh my God.
I'm going to skip the next one because we all know cats versus dogs. Cats are the winner. It's pointless to talk
Dogs,
about.
cats are useless.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Summer.
I would
all
rather
of
die
y'all
than be cold.
complaining about it being hot. Go inside, okay?
Can't go to the beach in the winter time.
We don't like the winter, so that's one thing we agree on. Okay, I'm gonna skip. Okay. So first of all, I want to preface. I'm gonna tell you this one is pancakes versus waffles. But every time I read the word waffles, and you can ask my husband this, as soon as I see waffles, I think about that video of the little girl that's crying, and the mom's like, "Why are you crying?" She's like, "I just can't stop thinking about waffles."
I have not seen this video.
You what?
I just can't stop thinking about waffles.
Okay, I'll link it in the comments below so that everyone can go watch it.
Dope.
But pancakes or waffles?
Pancake.
Okay, the next one we're gonna say on 3. No, waffles.
Fight me, because waffles are just crispy. Like, they're too crispy
Not
for
if
me.
you get the butter in the little squares. Then it's soggy squares.
So you guys probably can't hear this through this mic, but I can hear it through our window, the crickets. And I just would like to point out that she's wrong, and even the crickets agree. Pancakes for the win, always. They can be fluffy and delicious.
Negative, Ghost Rider. Okay. I don't drink coffee, so this is really just a question for you. But iced coffee.
Wait, I don't understand how you can function as a human being without drinking coffee.
I already have generalized anxiety disorder, so I don't need to up that by being jittery.
Listen, have you seen that meme about how it's a go juice that makes you go quicker? Okay, I know it's gonna make me anxious, but bean juice make me go quicker. So I'm gonna drink the coffee every day, and I do. At least twice a day.
Why say lot word when a few word do trick? Hashtag the office. Okay, so then I'm going to skip a few of these because one of them that I'm super excited to hear about is, okay, ready? Work hard or play hard?
You have to work hard to play hard.
Do you?
I have to get my full hours in order to have money to play hard.
I'm probably going to piss off a bunch of our followers here. But I have seen plenty of sorority girls play real hard and not work at all. They just breeze through college. Somebody else pays for that.
So hear me out. I have to work really hard through school because the grad school I'm trying to get into is super competitive. And if I don't work hard in the end game as an audiologist, I can't play hard. Because if I don't become an audiologist, that money ain't going in my pocket.
So are you saying both?
Work hard to play hard.
Like I work to live, I don't live to work, kind of.
No, unfortunately, at this time in my life, I live to work. But eventually, I might work to live.
Okay, so we're wrapping up this episode just a little bit, and I think it'd be so fun to do a twin fact of the day. So
Why does it not surprise me that you have gone out of your way to find a twin fact?
Listen, and Katie doesn't know a lot of what I'm going to be talking about on these episodes because I do research and she shoots the breeze.
Why would you work hard if you can just wing it and get through life?
So you just contradicted your work hard, play hard.
Wing it.
So also for our viewers out there who are following us on YouTube and Facebook, I'm so sorry I keep scratching at my legs. This is completely off topic, but this weekend we went to see my nieces and nephews, and my husband Max and I decided, and I say my husband, you know who Max is, but we decided that we were going to go out into the woods with my nephew and build a tree fort, and you guys, my entire leg is one big freaking tick bite. I honestly think ticks are crawling out of my skin in the middle of the night and making more bites. It's so itchy. I'm so sorry if this looks so bad.
I mean, I don't think I would have noticed it until you called it out. So.
I know, but there's always going to be that one. You know?
Tick bite, one mask.
Okay, so here's my fun fact of the day. And it's about twins. So, sorry, holler. So, you know how you watch true crime shows and you can see where twins try to frame the other twin in a murder with fingerprints?
I've never actually watched true crime shows, so I can't relate.
Hold up. We're going to chase another rabbit here real quick, okay? when you go to a hotel, there's only one show you're allowed to watch.
Okay, no.
Forensic Files.
If I'm traveling, I'm not spending time in a hotel. And that's where you and I are a little bit more different, because when you're on vacation and you're traveling, you really just want to spend all your time doing nothing. Whereas if I'm spending money to be at a location, I'm going to be hiking, I'm going to be sightseeing, I'm going to be spending money on alcohol.
But I don't necessarily think sitting in your hotel is what I meant. Like, when you crawl into bed and you have the TV playing until you fall asleep, and then in the middle of the night have to find the remote to turn it off, what's on? Forensic Files.
No, because when I crawl into bed at the end of the night, I just want to make one thing very clear. When I'm on vacation, I'm exhausted by the time I get back to the hotel. Or the Airbnb. I don't hotel typically because, like, why? Right. But if you're Airbnb-ing, even then, most of the time they have a TV. And if I have to be watching something, it's going to be something on my phone. Something that my husband and I can watch together. I'm not going to be, like, pulling something up on. I don't cable. Your girl hasn't cabled in 6 years.
For me, vacation is purposefully finding time at night to watch Forensic Files with your SO.
No, vacations for me are about exhausting myself.
Okay, so but back on track.
Okay.
Because twins have the same DNA, or almost the same DNA. You would think they have the same fingerprints, correct?
No.
Incorrect.
Never in my life have I ever thought that Megan and I have the same fingerprints.
Okay, well, we don't.
Whoa, surprise.
But that's not the fun fact. I found that fact, and in finding that fact, I did more research. I know. Thanks, Meg.
My God.
New York Times says, because I was like, where do fingerprints come from? Like, what is the point? Like, how?
Oh my God.
Tell me, if you know, why do you have fingerprints? How are they made? So, these grooves on your fingers, and I know all of you are looking down at your fingers as I'm talking about this. These little grooves on your fingers that are individual to you and you and you are there from the grooves that were made when you were in the womb. Like, the pressure that was on your fingers caused these little wrinkles in your sensitive skin and made fingerprints. Hear me out. Hear me out, okay? This turns back to the twin thing. Twins likely and much more often have tighter fingerprints or tighter grooves than people, I don't even know what you would call it, people who are born with just one of you in the womb.
Not cool people.
Uncool. Because we had more pressure in the womb because there was two of us. So we were pushing on each other and there was more grooves in our little sensitive skin than other people.
Even as like an adult knowing that fact, I think that if I saw my fingerprint versus someone who's not a twins, I wouldn't have been able to be like, look how tight my grooves are.
Well, you wouldn't. And I'm sure it's like millicenta, whatever, the smallest possible measurement that there could be. But our fingerprints are tighter together than our husband's fingerprints because they didn't have an extra womb mate.
Womb mate. I would just also like to point out that Megan and I were never roommates. We were only womb mates. So we each had our own room growing up.
That's not true. When we were little, we shared a room sometimes.
That is not... Sometimes, like, you crawled into my bed at night. It wasn't like one of those things...
Okay, this was not on the list, but I think it's important to ask. What is your love language? Mine is physical touch, and I think that's why I would crawl into bed with you at night.
I would like to point out that mine is gifts of affirmation, but
Katie's like, if you don't give me thousands of dollars,
No. I would also like to point out that, like, I don't think it's gifts of affirmation. I think I just mixed two up. It's words of affirmation and gifting. And I would like to point out that gifting isn't necessarily like, oh, my husband spent hundreds of dollars on me. It's more like on his way home from the grocery store, he saw a Kit Kat bar and was like, Kate loves Kit Kats, and like slipped me one. It was like he was thinking of me enough to grab me a gift and less like diamond earrings. Because we share a bank account and I know we can't afford that.
I don't know. See, for me, it's physical touch. Like, if we could get a little closer.
No, in my opinion, I think we're way too close together.
I would be so fine with that.
That's why you always know.
Okay, well, that's all for Opposites Attract. I'm really excited that we did this. Please, when you follow along with us, follow us on Facebook, Opposites Attract Podcast. We're also going to be on Buzzsprout for most of our audio podcasts. And then we'll be on YouTube, which we'll share on our Facebook pages. But keep in mind that some of our next episodes I assume, are going to be a little bit longer because we're going to be talking about more in-depth issues than just Coke versus Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Okay, well, that's all. Thanks for listening. Thanks for helping us capitalize on our overactive mouths that talk a lot.
Bye.
Bye.
Yay! My legs hurt from having this
Oh my
on.
God, you guys, I'm itching so bad. Can we watch it? Do you want to watch it?
I don't know if I do.